is the frequency in use. CQ 40 meters, CQ 40 meters, CQ 40 meters, CQ 40, kilowatt 0, radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ 40 meters, CQ 40 meters, CQ, kilowatt 0, radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ, any stations anywhere.
Kilo Delta 8, Quebec Delta Lima.
This is KK4NGZ.
Okay, I think I heard a Kilo Delta 8 station again, please.
Roger, roger. Kilo Delta 8, Quebec Delta Lima. The name is Mike India Kilo Echo in Findlay, Ohio, just south of Toledo. Back to you.
Okay, Mike, out in Findlay. Nice to hear you this evening. The name here is Randy. Romeo Alpha November Delta Yankee, 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Got ourselves on the air out here playing radio this evening, first contact. And, yeah, I've been around the Findlay area. Got some neat little areas if you're into RV and some really great stores in the area there. Roger?
Roger that. Ohio's great for RV stuff, and look, it's a beautiful state, just like Missouri is. Good stuff over there. So great to talk to you, Randy. And listen, good luck with your contacts this evening. And I'm glad that I got a hold of you. Back to you.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Well, I appreciate it very much, Mike. We have not been in front of the microphone very much the last 4 or 5 months. We had a pretty regular live stream on YouTube there for a while, and some projects got in the way. And I think here we are, the 1st of November. We're going to try to do a New Year's resolution a little early, my friend, and get back here in front of the air. We actually are live on YouTube as well. So if you're interested to listen to our QSO, see how you sound on the air, you look me up in QRZ. I've got a link that goes to my channel, and then look for the video with today's dates on it there, Roger.
Roger that. I'll tell you what, I'll get over to QRZ, look that up, and appreciate the info, and always good stuff. So thank you so much for that, and thanks for taking my call tonight. It's always good to talk to another operator in another state, and I think this is our first contact, and really appreciate that. Back to you for a final.
No problem at all, my friend. Glad to do it. Again, we're trying to make this a regular thing if we can. It looks like in my log it's our first contact. Thanks for that here on 40 meters. and hopefully we'll have a lot more even in the next short term as well. Again, take a look and a listen there on the YouTube channel. Downside, I'll warn you ahead of time, you get to see my smiley face. We've got a video camera on us as well, but anyway, it's all for fun. It's kind of neat to be able to hear your QSO across the YouTube, actually get a good idea of how you sound like. So we'll say 7-3s. You get 4 contacts in my log, Mike. You become a regular here on my channel, so we got 3 more to go. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks again for coming back to my CQ. I appreciate it. Kilo Delta 8, Quebec Delta Lima, Findlay, Ohio. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. Take care, my friend. 7-3s.
Randy, 73 to you. Thank you so much for the contact. I'm putting you in the log, and you're stuck there forever now. So thank you so much. 73 to you, and you take care. Have a good evening.
All right, my friend. You take care. 7-3s. K0, RWB, QRZ. Any other stations, please? Come with your call. Let's see if any other stations out there. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, QRZ on 40 meters. Any stations anywhere, come with your call sign, please. Kilo 4, Sierra Golf, is it Zulu or Victor?
I'm sorry, you got drowned out by noise. Say again.
Kilo 4, Sierra Golf, Zulu. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, Roger. Name here is Eddie. Echo, Delta, India, Echo.
Okay, Kilo 4, Sierra Golf, Zulu. Alabama, is that correct?
You know, I apologize. I'm watching your live stream, and the echo's not me. Say again.
Well, you're right above my noise there. I want to make sure we get you in the log properly. Just to verify, did I get the call correct there? Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger, you got it correct. Kilo 4, Sierra Golf, Zulu.
Okay, fine business. I wanted to make sure that. Sometimes my fat fingers get in the way there, no doubt. Hey, appreciate it very much. Again, the name here is Randy. We are 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. We're over here on the Missouri side. We like to say the right side there. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger that. I'm in central Alabama. Just heard your call, looked you up on QRZ, and found the live stream. Pretty great. So thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, happy to do it. Bill, no problem. Looks like a first contact in the log between us as well. It'll happen quite often. That's okay. That's the neat thing about this. It's a free phone call. You just don't know who I was on the other end there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that, Roger that. Well, I'll let you guys get back to it. 73, have a great night.
Well, thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. Glad we got the call there correctly. And anyway, like I've told the other gentleman, we're actually live on YouTube as well. So you want to hear what you sound like on the air, look me up in QRZ. I've got a link that goes to the channel as well. Give a look and a listen, have some fun with it. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening and week ahead as well. We'll say 7-3s. Don't be a stranger. Feel free to come back anytime. Kilo 4, Sierra Golf, Zulu in Alabama. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thanks here at 7-3s. Okay, QRZ, any other stations, please? K0 RWB in Kansas City.
Kilo 0, Jamaica, X-rated Nagasaki.
Oh, I was afraid of that. I was hoping that maybe we wouldn't have any conditions, but it sounds like we've got conditions.
X-ray November.
What's happening over there on your end, my friend? Apparently you got a new zip code?
Roger, Roger. I'm just outside of Liberty Town, Maryland. Over.
All the way to Maryland?
Roger, Roger. I'm living in the Pawpaw Palace. Over.
Oh, they must have run you out of Illinois, huh? They didn't want you over there anymore?
Yeah, you know how things go. Getting out of a 20-year relationship, and then my daughter bought this big old mansion and said, "We got plenty of room there. Come on over." So that's what happened. Over.
Well, you know, they always say home's where you hang your hat. So if that's what it is, hey, great. I'm glad to hear it.
And all my kids and grandbabies are here on the East Coast, so that'll work out. Over.
You know, there's worse places. I can name a few, but they're not anywhere in the U.S. So take it for what it is. Yeah, long process, Steve, to finally get back to where we're at here tonight, and I'm hoping it'll continue, but we're sure going to make a go of it tonight and have some fun while we're here there, Roger.
I hear you. I'm kind of worried about what happened to you. If you want to share it, that'd be great. But if not, you got my number. You can share it if you want. Yeah, I kind of miss you.
Well, it's a combination of projects, no internet, and no time. A lot of the projects are gone. We have new internet that has seemed to be extremely stable and very reliable. It certainly should help on the live stream. No more buffering that I can think of. So far it's been a win-win. And we wanted to see about around the 1st of November, and so here we are. We had a couple of text messages and emails here lately, some from out of country folks wondering about when we're going to be on the air, and I said we got a surprise coming, so here we are tonight there, Roger.
All right, Roger. Hey, are you going to do the Christmas train this year?
Yeah, we've got the Christmas train coming up. We're going to be probably doing a little bit more so-called advertising or getting the word out about it. We're going to be looking for some associate conductors to help us out this year. The next one coming up will be Veterans Day. We've got our Salute to Service, which will be coming up, a week from Friday. We've got that one approved through ARRL. We've got that one coming up, which will be a fun event. We're trying to see about broadcasting from a veteran's location. So it'll be kind of a portable type of a deal, but we want to be able to have most of the equipment with us so we can still do a live stream periodically throughout the day. So that's the next one coming up. And we're going to be we'll be showing the card tonight a couple of times on the live stream. So folks are interested in getting the QSL card, at least they'll get an idea what it looks like.
Roger. That's awesome, buddy. That is just awesome. Yeah, I'm worried about you. I thought maybe COVID got you.
Well, there's a lot of things that can get me, but fortunately, that's not one of them. But yeah, it's just been a really crazy last 5 months. No time, not here, and when you are, the last thing you're thinking about is this. But we got a lot of that stuff out of the way. I like to think we've got some clear sailing. So hopefully, from this point forward, everything will be good.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear you back on the air. Glad that everything's going your way. And I won't keep you. I know there's probably a pile up behind me, so I just wanted to check in, and looks like we can make it from Maryland to Missouri. So, stand me free to you, brother.
Yeah, actually, you're doing pretty good, Steve. You're 5, 5, and 6, but really no problems copying you. So it's good to see that we've got a little bit of a stretch there, just about 900 miles. So that's not terribly bad. We could probably hit you on 20 meters from this point. We looked at that earlier about maybe starting on 20, but we decided to come down here. So no worries. We will definitely be around. It won't be every night of the week. It should be at least 2, maybe 3 nights a week in the beginning. But yeah, as time goes on, we'll start doing a little bit more things about the Christmas train and what have you, and I'll be happy to get that info out to you as well. Thanks for giving us a call. I did hear and saw your text message as well, and I know we'll have another chat. No problems as well. Thanks to Steve. Have a good evening, and congrats on your move out to Maryland. So we've got you on the air, got you on the phone. It works either way. Kilo Zero, Juliet X-Ray, November, Kilowatt Zero Radio, Whiskey Bravo. Have a good night, Steve. Okay, QRZ, K0, RWB. Any other stations out there? Come with your call.
Kilo Foxtrot 5, Tango Oscar Charlie.
Okay, Kilo Foxtrot 5, Tango Oscar Charlie. David, is that correct?
Yeah, you bet you, Randy, that is correct. And we're located here in central Arkansas, a little town called Bryant. You've got a 10-over signal here in Bryan, Arkansas today. Just heard you in there. Just finished the install of this radio and was kind of curious if it sounded okay.
You're doing gangbusters. No problems whatsoever. Yeah, it sounds really good here in my receive. And I appreciate that for giving us a call. We have a difficult time getting into Arkansas. Maybe it's the orientation of the antenna, I'm not sure which, but whenever we do, we really enjoy it. So thanks for giving us a call back. You're a good solid 5 and 9, about 5 over as well, Roger.
Okay, good deal, Randy. I appreciate that. I'm probably getting about 75 watts out to the end-fed half-wave antenna. I think the apex of it's about 4,500 feet as it peaks up in the tree in the backyard there. So with a great signal hearing you, I thought maybe I'd have a chance of getting back to you tonight. Other than the antenna, the operating conditions here, we've got a FTDX10 that normally we use for portable operations in the RV, but I brought it in, thought I'd dust it off and see if the thing was still working here in the shack. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. What a terrific radio, the FTDX10. I like them so much, I bought two of them. I've got one I use for portable. I'm on one right now in the shack, and very, very good, good receiver. Good all-around radio. Probably not the most practical radio for portable, but it works, and that's really the main thing. I've got your page pulled up. A little jealousy there on the aircraft. Actually, like two of them. We must have another pilot. It's amazing how many pilots are ham operators as well there, Roger.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I got to tell you, I'm ashamed to say that just one pilot and a hangar full of toys, so that's just the way it goes. So, when the weather's not good for flying, it's usually pretty good for ham radio, so I seldom run out of things to do here. Yeah, the FTDX10 is a fine radio, and it works so good in our second home out in the RV. It may not be too practical to throw out on a picnic table, but that's generally not what I do with it. It just travels with us, and if you pulled up the web page there, you'd probably see that the FTDX101D lives in the shack. So I may not have a DX10 if it wasn't for a buddy of mine who, like you, Randy, decided one wasn't good enough. He had to buy a second one, and then he brought it to a show and tell at a meeting we had, and he let me get my fingerprints all over it and play with it a little bit, and then the next thing I knew, it was on sale, and that kind of sealed the deal for me. Over.
Yeah, I knew the radio was coming, and we were running an old FT950 for the last 10 years or so, and I knew that this radio was in the works. We've got a local amateur store. We're very fortunate for that, and I went to the dark side, so to speak, and had a 7300 just for the change, and wanted to start our live stream. That's what we're doing tonight. So I did that with the 7300, and then about 6 weeks later, the FTDX10 showed up, and so we brought that one home. Had both the rigs, two separate locations in the house here, and the 7300 helped finance the second one, and it really is terrific radio. We use a video capture card, so we can actually put our screen up on our YouTube channel, so you actually get to see your own signal strength. We got the oscilloscope at the bottom, of course, which you're familiar with, I'm sure, so you get to see the audio wave pattern and so forth. Kind of a neat deal to put these two mediums together there, Roger.
Yeah, that sounds real good, Randy. Sounds like you've got a nice setup there, and the live streaming is pretty cool. I got to say, I've run across a hammer operator that was doing that before, and you could go back in the archives there and hear how your signal sounded and see what your signal was, and that's really a pretty valuable tool for another ham to be able to do that, because otherwise you're just kind of taking the guy's word for how the audio sounds, the signal strength, and all that, but there's nothing like seeing it for yourself. Over.
And I am certainly no expert on audio whatsoever. It's kind of like in the ear of the beholder, so to speak. And what I hear and what you hear with some station may be totally different. I'm very reluctant to give out any audio report unless it's you're clipping or you may damage your equipment. I may say something. So fortunately I have a fallback. Hey, don't take my word for it. Go to my YouTube channel, listen to our QSO. You decide for yourself if there's any changes you want to make or not make, and that way it kind of falls back on you. These radios, that 101, the FTDX10, are not the easiest to set up, transmit audio, but boy, once you do, they really do tend to sing, and it's nice to be able to verify that when you've got somebody where you can actually do the playback.
Absolutely. You make a good point, Randy. I've got that same buddy of mine that kind of forced me to buy the FTDX10, then bought a 101D since I had one, so I felt kind of good about that since I made him buy the 101 and he made me buy the 10. So somehow felt like that evened us out a little bit. But when he got it and started trying to set up that parametric equalizer, he was kind of like you just said. He was like a deer in the headlights. He wasn't real sure even where to start with that. But I gave him a screenshot of my settings, as a starting point, and we had our first QSO today, and I did have to give him an audio report because I don't have all the equipment you've got where he could hear it. And I thought it sounded just fine, and so I think he was pretty tickled about that.
Yeah, that's really important. Are you using a stock mic, or you have a different microphone you're using tonight?
Well, on the radio, which is the DX10 that I'm talking on tonight, this is the hand mic, Randy. On the 101, I use a Heil PR40 studio mic, which seems to work well with that particular radio. But for this radio, it is just the hand mic. Over.
Yeah, it's amazing because it sounds good, and it's the same way with the 7300. Years ago when you bought a rig, it came with a microphone, and usually the first thing you do is leave it in the box, and you'd buy an aftermarket, and off you went. But you really don't want to discount to have those hand mics. Really, not anymore. Of course, with the 7300, Bob Heil had a lot to do with the audio transmit there and the cartridge for that hand mic. So it's no reason why they don't sound good. But a lot of people discount that same microphone for the Yaesu products, and they really do sound pretty good. What I've found on this particular rig, you don't need to overdrive it. Not a lot of compression, not a lot of processing. The AMC, really, really gentle type settings, and it seems to work quite well. We've got this paired here tonight with the PR781. We tried the PR40, but I think our voice is just too low for that. But again, there's always something for everybody, and the microphones that come with these rigs, nowadays are really quite good. So it's very encouraging, especially the way you're coming across your night. The audio that's coming out of that microphone sounds just wonderful.
Well, I appreciate that. That's always good to hear, and I appreciate that. And again, I used a lot of the same settings on this radio as what I did the 101, even though this is the stock mic, hoping that would be a good starting point. And after I did that, I said, I think that's going to be okay until somebody complains about it. So I've just kind of left it alone. And again, since this radio travels mobile with me, it wasn't practical to get any other microphone. And like you said, the radios that are on the market today, for the most part, you just can't hardly go wrong. The quality is out there. They're very competitive, and they know they have to do that and be that way. So I'm a VE, volunteer examiner, and so when we get out and we give tests, a lot of times we'll get questions from the folks that get licensed that say, well, where do I start? What radio do I go with? And, my stock answer is typically you just about can't go wrong with anything out there. And, some radios are a little better for starter radios. They're maybe not as complicated as, to set up as like some of the high-end Yaesu products are. But, they're all good quality, microphones, radios, and I think we're pretty lucky along those lines. Over?
Yeah, I believe so. I think, it's a credit to the manufacturers. That they're, R&D is very expensive. And for them, in the last 4 or 5 years, they come out with these new products. All the manufacturers are doing this, of course. It's a tribute to the hobby. I mean, they're not going to spend this kind of money for development and marketing to get rigs out, and there's nobody to buy them. So I think the ham radio community, and by and large, is fairly healthy. We've, exodus of some new operators with COVID the last couple of years. A lot of people that came back to the hobby because of COVID. And I think it just continues on. But it is a tribute to the manufacturers that made some terrific products that we're able to put into play. I'd like to think this is the last radio I'll buy, but something else could come out. You just don't know. Other than maybe trying to stay with that particular brand instead of having to change cables and those things all the time, that would be the thing. But anyway, just kind of how things work out. But we did have you pulled up on the logger as well. Didn't realize exactly where the location was. A little bit south and west of Little Rock. So we're showing 314 miles as the crow flies. And with that kind of a signal, like your last go-around was about 5 to 10 over. So the conditions are going quite well. And I got to say real quick here, Steve, Stu, Michael, and a few others who has kind of hit us on the live chat, I wanted to say hi to you guys as well. And as I was getting earlier, it's not often to get into Arkansas, and to have this kind of signal really makes you wonder that 40 meters is really going to be real good here for a long time.
Absolutely. Well, we certainly hope so. Like I said, want to get out in the mobile and try to make some contacts out in the RV, wherever we happen to drop the anchor, so to speak. And so looking forward to that. Conditions have been improving. I noticed the band might be just a little noisier than usual, but I can accept that for this kind of signal that we're getting into Missouri tonight. Randy, I want to thank you for the QSO. The pleasure was all mine. I appreciate you taking the call. We'll get out of here and let somebody else get in there with you and have an opportunity to chat. So we'll say 7-3 K0RWB up in Missouri from Kilo Foxtrot 5 Tango Oscar Charlie down here in Arkansas. We'll catch you next time.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. Appreciate it very much. As I was telling the operators earlier, Steve is out in Maryland now. Veterans Day, week from Friday, the 11th. We're going to be doing a special event called the Salute to Service. We'll be broadcasting or transmitting throughout the day, a couple of times on our YouTube channel as well. And we're in the mix of trying to see if we can get to a veterans location, which might be kind of fun. But we've got a commemorative QSL card that we're going to be pushing up on our channel here in a little bit, so you'll have a chance to look at it. So if you're out and about, David, if you happen to hear us, we'd love to get you in the log during our special event, so Salute to Service as well. And anyway, thank you so much for the first contact. Please don't be a stranger. Your 4 contacts in my log, you become a regular here on the channel. We'd love to hear you back here anytime, of course, especially when we've got these kind of conditions. Hey, listen, enjoy your Tuesday evening and the rest of the week as well. I do appreciate you taking the time. Thank you for calling, and I certainly look forward to the next one as well. Kilo Foxtrot 5 Tango Oscar Charlie, just kind of southwest of Little Rock, Arkansas. This is Kilo 10 Radio Whiskey Bravo in Kansas City. Thanks again, 7-3s.
7-3, Randy.
Okay, QRZ, any other stations, please? Come with the call.
Kilo Delta Zero Victor United Yankee.
Kilo Delta Zero Victor, and I lost the last part.
Yeah, Kilo Delta Zero Victor Uniform Yankee.
Okay, I got you that time. Apologize for that. Kilo Delta Zero Victor Uniform Yankee. The logger was a little slow about that. If I typed it right, this would be Dirk. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. The name is Dirk, and I'm in Windsor, Colorado, about 55 miles north of Denver. Just running barefoot here into a inverted V in the tree. Sounding great here. You're about 20 over. Go ahead.
Well, I appreciate that, Dirk. And my logger shows a previous contact between us, August 20th of last year. So, gosh, here we are, a little over a year's time frame. Amazing how time flies on amateur radio. Nice to hear you in there again this evening there. Go ahead.
Yeah, good to hear you. Yeah, that makes sense. You sound kind of familiar, but yeah, that was over a year ago. Yeah, just kind of tuning around the band. I've been spending a lot of time on 10 meters. It's been wide open. And today, it's been kind of dead, so I dropped down here, and 40 seems to be in good shape, so figured I'd give you a shout, and seems like you're hearing me just fine. Definitely one of the stronger ones tonight. K0RWB, KD0VUI.
No, fine business. Yeah. Of course, I think, of course, it's been a little bit of time. We've got family in Fort Collins. We lived in Aurora for about 9 years, and then 11 years down in the Springs. So we certainly know where you're at, know the location, of course. And whenever we have an opportunity to get a Colorado station, we like to get back to them because we know the ground, we know the areas and what have you. And the logger is showing you in Eaton, but that's not the right address. Is that right?
No, that's not correct. Yeah, I'm in Windsor. When I moved out here and I changed my call to a 0, I did live in, I lived in Severance, but the zip code was Eaton, so that's probably why. I think it's still stuck like that. But I've been in Windsor for a few years now. Been in Colorado for 12 years, originally from Southern California, and it has changed dramatically.
Yeah, I think that's about anywhere. You guys, you're a little lower elevation. You guys haven't gotten any dusting or any snow yet, have you?
Nope, I could see snow on the mountains, but it was 72 degrees today. It gets pretty cold at night. It gets down to about 29 at night, but it's been a very mild fall, so no snow yet, but I'm sure it's just right around the corner.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's going to happen for both of us. I think the thermometer here showed about 80 today, and I think the 82 tomorrow. Of course, the wind will start to join us here as the week goes on. I think I can't remember, either A Basin or Loveland got quite a bit, I think, over the weekend, and nice to see that the mountains are getting some snow, to help fill up the reservoirs, of course. And I know it's been we've all been pretty dry, but I didn't think any lower elevations had gotten anything yet. And at 72 degrees, it's going to be a long time for you to get some there. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to think our days are numbered. We're going to get hammered here one of these days.
Oh yeah, it could be any day. I mean, that's how it is out here. It really it can be 80 degrees one day and snowing the next. So yeah, any day now it's going to happen. But it was a good summer, so I'm looking forward to it. I don't mind the change in the season. So definitely been enjoying the fall. And I know the skiers and snowboarders are already up there. I've only snowboarded once, but I got way too many hobbies. I just don't have time for that. And I'm kind of far away from the slope, so it just takes a lot of time and investment. But anyway, thanks for coming back to me. I'll let you carry on. I just wanted to jump in real quick. And all the best, and I'm sure, hopefully I'll catch you again, and it won't be another year. I'm going to check out your YouTube channel as well. K0RWV from KD0VUY.
No, I'm more than happy to do it, and thanks for taking the time to give us a call, Dirk. Yeah, like I said earlier, it's just amazing how the time flies here. You wouldn't think it'd be that long, and you look in the log, and it's been over a year. But that's the way it works. But yeah, listen, if you want to check it out, I don't have a timestamp, but what you can do, we can kind of fast forward on the video to probably around 27 or 28 minutes in. You want to fast forward to that point. It's about where you and I started, give or take a little bit here and there. And one of the big changes this year, another reason not on the air, but we now have reliable, stable internet in the country, no less. So we're really glad that we're able to do the live stream without everything buffering and crashing on us like we had in the past. So anyway, we're certainly happy for that. But hey, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it. Enjoy what's left of the Tuesday evening and the week ahead. Certainly hope we'll have another contact sooner than later, of course. And like I said, we got an event coming up next week for Veterans Day. If you're out and about on the radio, you hear us, give us a call. We'd love to get you in the log as well. And then we've got our Christmas train coming up in December as well. That should be some fun. So anyway, thanks again, and I do appreciate you taking the time. Kilo Delta Zero Victor Uniform Yankee, Windsor, Colorado, Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thanks again, Dirk. Have a good night.
Hi, Randy. Yeah, thanks as well. Thanks for the information, and we'll catch you again. Kilowatt Zero RWB, KD0VUY. I'm clear.
All right, 7-3s. Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo, QRZ. Any other stations, please?
Kilo 5,
I think I heard a Kilo 5 right above the noise level. Try it again if you would, please.
Kilo 5, Oscar Romeo November.
Kilo 5, Oscar Romeo November. Is that correct?
Yeah, QSL in Mansfield, Texas. Name is Kevin, Charlie Echo, Victor Alpha November.
Okay, and another Colorado station. No, you're down over by Dallas, correct?
QSL, Mansfield, Texas.
Okay, my apologies. I saw the Fort Worth on the logger, and I thought I saw Fort Collins, which was Colorado, but my apologies for that. But that's okay. First contact into Texas tonight. Glad to see it's working for us. Again, the name here is Randy, the QTH. We're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri there. Go ahead.
Yeah, QSL. Yeah, you're coming in 5-9 down here into Texas. It's Mansfield.
but your station actually is coming up, so you're at about a 5.9 throughout the last two contacts. It's been about a 5.5 down to Texas.
Yeah, about the same here on this time as well, Kevin. It's about the same, 5.5, 5 and 6. A little noise, but we've got a lot of it filtered out. No problems copying you. We're a little rusty. We haven't been in front of the microphone for quite a while, so it takes us a little bit to get our keyboard and our fingers together. But the main thing was to get you in the log there. So I'm glad we got you there tonight, there, Roger.
Yeah, QSL, same here. Yeah, I got the shack set up. It's been up probably about 3 months now. So I'm glad to be back. We've been jumping on that 10 meters, playing around there again. It's great to hear some of the bands starting to wake back up again, QSL.
Well, I'll tell you what, for the little time that we've had the last 4 or 5 months, 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, I mean, to me, and you're welcome to correct me, you've probably been out there more than I have, but it seems like the bands are certainly opened here in the last little bit there. Go ahead.
Yeah, QSL, I've got I think you've got the same thing. I've got an FTDX10 right here. Just been watching the spectrum scope, and it looks like it's starting to liven back up. It's 7:16 here in Mansfield.
Well, the wonderful thing about that FTDX10, of course, and the 101 does it as well, is the digital noise reduction. I'm sure you're familiar with that. I've got that on right now, but I've got it set on number 3, and it's certainly taken away a lot of the noise in the background, and it certainly helps pull the signals out as well. So, fantastic radio. I could go on, and most operators are the same way. You kind of know what I'm talking about, and it's nice to have some of those features that kind of help us on the receive side there, Roger.
Yeah, QSL. Yeah, well, I'll go ahead and jump out of here and get a few more contacts in there, but good hearing. I'll check into your special radio station coming up. So, 7-3, QRW from K5 Orange, 7-3.
Well, thanks so much. Hey, appreciate you taking the time. First contact, at least it shows up in my log. So nice to have you here on 40 meters. Again, feel free to come back anytime. Usually in the evenings, if we're going to be on the air, we'll have the live stream up as well. We will start having different questions or topics and so forth, but tonight's kind of I'm back on the air kind of thing, so we're kind of taking it slow, making some contacts and some new friends in the process, but hopefully we'll have contact much sooner than later. If you do hear us again, please give us a call back, and we'll just kind of pick it up where we left off. Thanks for the time. I appreciate it, and we'll look for you again. Kilo 5, Oscar Romeo, November, Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thanks again. Have a good night.
75 Kilo, Jay.
Okay, 7-3. So Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. QRZ, any other stations, please?
Kilowatt Zero, Tango, Juliet, Tango.
Kilowatt Zero, Tango, Juliet, Tango. Is that correct?
That's correct, Randy. My name here is Thor, Tango Hotel Oscar Radio, and I'm up in South Central Minnesota.
All right, first one into Minnesota. That's pretty good. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Good signal, too, by the way. I'll look at the meter. Just want to make sure I got it in the log here properly, get it logged in there. But, yeah, good audio to go with it as well. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're just having a little fun this evening. We've got ourselves in front of the microphone for a change, and we're making some contacts around the country. It seems to be a lot of fun there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got an IC 7300 here, and you're the strongest signal I have on the spectrum scope here. You're at 20 over, easy 20 over with beautiful audio.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, you're doing pretty good on your side as well. I think, of course, we don't have any preamp on. You're a good solid 5.9 bumping over to about +5 here. Maybe it's a better transmit antenna than receive. I'm not sure which, but we're making contact, so I guess it's okay. It's a very unusual configuration for a inverted V, but it seems to be working for us anyway. There, go ahead.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, you're just beautiful signal up here. I'm running an 80 meter horizontal loop right now. Over.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, definitely. We're just on the side of the tower, probably maybe 30, 35 feet. We got one leg pointed toward San Diego, and the other one's pointed toward Washington State. So it's a very unusual configuration, but it's the only way we could kind of get it up, so to speak. But it's been working, so we're not going to touch it. We're just going to leave it alone. But we've got out to Maryland, we've been to Alabama, we've been to Colorado, and we just finished with Texas, and now you in Minnesota. So I think either the conditions are open, which is going to be the 90%, and it seems like the setup's working as well.
That contest, I played around a little bit in the contest, made some great contacts. 10 meters and 15 meters were absolutely awesome. Over.
Yeah, I haven't had much opportunity. I was telling the station previously that the little bit exposure I've had, it seems the bands have been really open. The numbers are okay, but I know 10 has been open quite a little bit. That's very encouraging. 12 and 15 as well. We've had a little time over the weekend. We didn't get involved with the contest. I did not have any time for that. We did kind of have it sitting in the background when we were doing things on the air, but it was quite interesting to listen and see all the calls on the scope. So it seemed like it was a good event for most people involved there, Roger.
Absolutely. It's my first time working that contest, and I had an absolute ball. I got to run a lot of it, and by picking off countries that I haven't had a chance to make a contact with. So I had an absolute ball. Can't wait to do it again. Over.
Yeah, that's the thing. It kind of gets into your blood. My thing, there's a disconnect between what I hear and my keyboard, and that's because of my hands. So I usually have to repeat calls just to make sure I get them typed in, and that's really sad. We do a couple of special events throughout the year, and you get these big pileups, and it's really tough to be able to pull the calls out and get them down correctly. But so we're a little slower than most, but there's some contesters that I don't know how they do it. They can pull calls out from a big pileup and get them right the first time, and a little envious of them, but I still enjoy the hobby regardless.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a YouTube video out there of a gentleman working CW, and he's able to carry on two different CW conversations on two different bands at the same time. I couldn't tell you where to find it, but there is a pretty interesting YouTube video out there of him doing that. He's pretty incredible.
That does not surprise me. There's some very talented people that are in ham radio. They may have a primary career or hobby or what have you, whatever you may call it, but they also are involved in ham radio. So we're very fortunate. We have a lot of diverse interest. We have this common one, of course, of amateur radio, but I'm not surprised. There's some really talented people out there.
Roger. Yep, did I hear you say you're down in the Kansas City area?
Yeah, we're roughly 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City. We're on the I-70 corridor. It's a little town called Bate City, Missouri. If I told you that earlier, you'd be like, huh? So we just kind of use a big marker like that to give people the idea, a little general location of where we're at. So it kind of narrows it down for folks. Because generally most people will think we're either on the Kansas side or we're in St. Louis. And those are two different extremes.
Yeah, very good. I'm going to be down in the Kansas City area next week with my wife and my daughter in the downtown area for the weekend. So that's what perked my ears up. So I'm in south central Minnesota. I don't know if you've heard of the town of Mankato, Minnesota, but I'm about 20-25 miles straight west of the city of Mankato.
Oh, yeah. I've got you pulled up on the logger. I've got a lot of the St. James, Truman, Amboy, Mapleton, Nicole, Cortland, all around you, and I can zoom in and out. That's why I love this logging program. I get a world map, and I can actually have your grid square pulled up as well. And the logger shows us 353 miles away. So, a really good location where you're at.
Yep. Okay, Randy. I'll let you make a few more contacts. I won't hold it for you, so you're doing good. And maybe we'll make another contact another time. So appreciate you talking to me, and I really enjoyed it. K0RWB, K0TJT. I'm clear on your final.
No problem. Well, come back anytime. Like I said, we're actually live on YouTube as well. If you're interested in listening to our QSO, see what you actually sound on the air. You can go to my QRZ page. I have a link. Or you can go right to YouTube, type in my call, and look for the video with today's date on it, of course. And probably about 35 minutes in, give or take, about where you and I started. Give it a look and listen. You enjoy it. You sound really good in my receipt, but you be the judge for yourself what you sound like, because the signal's really strong about 10 over that last go-round, and the audio's got a really nice punch it as well. Anyway, it's just kind of fun to put these two together. We're having some fun with it. Feel free to come back anytime. I was telling the other people, 4 contacts in my log, you become a regular. We'd love to have you back anytime you can. We've got an event coming up next week for the Veterans Day Salute to Service. If you hear us on the air, we'd love to get you in the log for that as well. If you're interested in a card, we've got a pretty good card that's kind of cool. We're going to be putting it up on the channel here in a little bit as well. Hey, you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. Thank you so much for Minnesota. First one tonight. Feel free to come back anytime. Kilo 0 Tango Juliet Tango, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. 7-3s.
Okay, Randy, thank you so much. 7-3. I'll definitely check out the YouTube, and I'll try and get a hold of you next weekend for the special event. I really enjoy those. So thank you so much. 7-3.
All right, my friend. Take care. QRZ, any other stations, please? K0RWB.
Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee.
There was a Kilo H station, I believe, again. Kilo H station.
Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee.
I'm afraid if I want to hear that one or not. That sounds like my old friend David.
Hey, roger that. How's it going, Randy?
Well, better than some, worse than others. How's that sound?
That sounds good, yeah. But keep watching for you, listening for you all summer, but I know how the summer is. I've been busy the last few weeks myself, a couple other projects I got done.
Yeah, it has been the last 5 months, either to remember or to forget, however you want to put it. I like to think that the rest of it's behind us, and we were kind of shooting for the 1st of November to get back on the air. It's not going to be every night in the beginning. A couple of nights a week is what we're shooting for. Consistency, we're shooting for that as well. We do have better internet now, so the YouTube live stream should be a little bit better signal, where it doesn't buffer near as much. It's a little bit more stable, so we're happy about that. The main thing is getting back in front of the microphone. David, go ahead.
Roger that. Yeah, I'm on a different antenna again. I put up 126 feet of number 14 wire in a real weird configuration, fed with a 49-to-1, and it's been doing me good. I haven't went back to the other two.
Well, I'll tell you, you're solid 5'9", little over here in my receive. Of course, you know, we're not that far away, but about 700 miles, give or take. And, yeah, it sounds really good. Sounds like it's working well for you.
It has been. I did have the tube scrap out in 811. I got it's a 3-tube one. I got what is it? The 5 tubes. I got put 3 of them in. It's running a little. I'm running about 350, but they're doing a good job. And last night, I was just sitting here running the VFO, and I got a contact in Sicily.
Yeah, that's the thing. Here you are minding your own business, and the station's just come out of the woodwork. Well, you know, what I've been hearing, and a little bit myself, you know, I get a little bit of time here and there, nothing consistent, is that the band seem to be really open. I know 10 meter has been open quite a little bit. Sounds like 12 and 15 is as well. So maybe it's that time again. Maybe we're going to have some good conditions for a while. I know a lot of people are taking advantage of it while they can there, Roger.
Roger that. Yeah, like I said, where I'm at, you might as well forget because of the hill behind me. But 40 has been doing real well for me. And even on short hops, like 40 miles, it's been doing real well.
Well, you can't complain. I mean, you know, and put it together yourself. You know, it's pennies, you know, what you got invested into it. And for it to work as well as it is, I think you got yourself a home run.
Roger that. Like I said, I got an idea. I figured out, and I used the 492 instead of the 468 to come up with the number. This thing goes up 20 feet, up a flagpole, about 40 feet up the yard, across the top of my garage, 23 feet, and then the tail comes back to the house in the same place the dipole's tied.
You know what? As long as it works, yeah, I've heard of some really unusual configurations. Ours is unusual as well, but like you said, it works, and I'm not gonna change it. It's doing what it should, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. FWRs are good. Sounds like yours is doing that as well. So yeah, no doubt that it's working. You're always going to have some areas that aren't going to work quite as good. The way the lobes are coming up, that's just the way it goes. But all in all, as long as you can keep it up here with me, we're good.
Roger that. Yeah, it's flat on 40 and 20. 80, I've got to put a little bit more inductance in on the tuner, but I'm pleased with it for what little bit I've got in the wire and everything. So I'm happy, and I've been glad to catch up with you.
Yeah, like I said, it's been unusual. Very, very busy 5 months, and I wish there were some times we could have gotten out here. We just didn't have the opportunity. I've been fortunate. We've had a few texts and emails from some listeners in the past. We've tried to reach out to them the best we can, and sometimes we didn't have a phone with us for a few days at a time and had to play catch up with that. But that's all in the past. Here we are, November 1st. It's a new day, so to speak. I don't know if you heard, but we've got a special event going on next Friday for Veterans Day. We did it a year ago. We got a special event called the Salute to Service. We've got a special call, November 0 Victor. And if you're out and about, David, we'd love to get you in the log for that. And we've got a special QSL card as well. The people are looking for that card. So hopefully we'll get a chance to have a QSO with you then as well. Roger?
Roger that. Yeah, I took some pictures. We had an actual true freight run go up through. There's a short line runs up through across the river. I took pictures of it. I couldn't find it on the computer to put it over on my QRZ page, but I've got it. They were double-heading locomotives, and they had Santa Claus on it, and they had both locomotives decorated up. And I'm going to look for it, try to get it on there before it happens again, because, well, you did the Christmas train. I said, well, I want to put a picture on for you guys and one to run it.
No, I think that's great. Yeah, and that's in the works too. We've got the call sign approvals through ARRL for the Christmas train this year. A little early to kind of start to advertise it, so to speak. We will be looking for some additional associate conductors this year, some folks to help us as well. On some of the calls. We'll be kind of lay that out in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get some info on that as well as time goes on. But looking forward to that. So that's the two events we've got coming up. We've got the Veterans Day coming up next week, the Salute Service, and then I think it's the 23rd to the 26th of December is what we're doing the Christmas train on. So we've got that coming up as well. But we'll get more info out as the time gets closer. David, thanks for calling, man. Nice to hear you. Hope things are going well for you. Sound good. Sound strong. The antenna's doing a good job. The audio is right there as usual. And nice to see that some of my old listeners are still back out there. So it's a very humbling, man. I do appreciate it very much. Hey, thanks for taking the time. And if you hear us again, you're always welcome. We want to try to connect with you if we can. We'll say 7-3s tonight. Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Bravo Yankee, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you, David. Have a good one.
Yes, have a good one, Randy. 73, K0RWB, 88 RBY.
All right, my friend, take care. QRZ, any other stations, please?
Kilowatt, Bravo, Kilowatt. Stephen, Ohio, you hear a copy of me? Kilo 5, Kilo Bravo, Kilo.
Kilo 5, Kilo Bravo, Kilo. Is that correct?
Roger. Located Gale County, Arkansas.
All right, another Arkansas station. Well, good evening. I know there's others out there. You just kind of jumped on top of them. Good signal coming into the station. The name here is Randy, the QTH, 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. There, go ahead.
Well, I had to crank it up to 100 watts. I generally only run 50 watts on my wire, but I kicked it all the way up that high number of 100.
Well, I like to run about 90, 95, keep a little bit in reserve to bust those pileups that are high.
Well, I generally run 50 watts. I did my wash and my DX 100 all on 50 watts in a wire, so
And you're over in Dardanville, is that correct?
The government thinks I live in Dardanelle, but I don't. I live out in the rural part of the county. But they say we have to live in a city somewhere, so I guess that'll have to be it.
Well, you know, they say home's where you hang your hat. Second contact into Arkansas tonight, so really glad to see that we've got some conditions down there. Other station was nice and bright and loud as well. The log shows a second contact with us Christmas Day a year ago, so maybe during the Christmas train there, Roger?
I think it probably was, best I remember. I'd have to look at my log to see for sure, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, we had, there was 5 of us, so we run in special calls, but I put everything into the master log here for myself, so it doesn't tell me exactly what call you and I talked, other than your call is in there, but it did show up in the log, so no worries. Yeah, I've got to say, man, the signal is just really super strong, and the audio is just wonderful as well. I guess we've got some really good conditions. The logger shows straight line between us of only 275 miles, so it's very encouraging. We're getting some long contacts and somebody in close as well there, Roger.
Well, I tell you what, the band conditions the last few days have been up and down. In 5 minutes' time, you probably won't hit anybody anywhere. You know, it's just unpredictable.
Well, you know, I'll take it. You know, you're right, especially around 40 meters. 1 second you'd be 20 over, and the next second, you know, they've dropped off the earth. But I won't complain. I'll take it while I can. We're not going to be spending a lot of time. We're going to be here for about an hour and a half. We've been out here now for about 55 minutes. And so far, I have to say, it's holding pretty steady. There's been a few stations that we've had to work with a little bit to hear, but nobody's been below 5.5, 5, and 6. And that's Colorado, Texas, twice Arkansas. We've been to Alabama, we've been to Maryland, and we've been up in Wisconsin. So we're certainly getting around the area. So I think the 40 meters seem to be open for quite a bit of time there, Roger.
Well, you sound great down here, and I know there's a dozen other people or more wanting to talk to you. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll sing you 7-3. Tell you sounded great tonight. I'm glad you took the call. And have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. Stay well. K0, RWB, K5, KBK. Be clear on your final.
Well, the pleasure is all mine, and I appreciate you calling and for taking the time here as well. Lots of stuff on the band, but you gave us a call. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know there's others. We're going to try to get to those as well. I didn't know if you heard or if I told you we are live on our YouTube channel. So you want to go back and listen to our QSO, see how you actually sound on the air, Bob. You can go to my QRZ page. I've got a link. It takes you to the channel, or you can go right to YouTube, put in my call, look for the videos, today's date, and roughly about 52 minutes in, you can fast forward to that point. It's about where we started, give or take a little bit there. Give it a look and a listen. Have some fun with it. I've got the radio display up on the channel as well. You can actually see your own signal strength, and our oscilloscope is there. You can actually listen to your own and see your own audio wave pattern. So have some fun with it if you get a chance, and by all means, feel free to do so. Look forward to hearing you again, and come back again anytime. Kilo 5, Kilo Bravo Kilo, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3.
7-3.
Okay, QRZ, any other stations, please? Kilo Oscar 4 station, I'm sorry again.
Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Uniform Victor.
Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Uniform Victor. Joshua, is that correct?
That is correct. How you doing tonight, Randy?
Oh, very good. Nice to hear you. So what's happening down in your neck of the woods?
Working as usual. You know how it goes.
Yeah, you know, I don't like that 4-letter word, man. You got to be careful how you use that around me. You're still down in Tennessee, correct?
That is correct. Still here in Mount Pleasant on this field. Did update on this system. I'm trying to keep this mic on here and upgrade the wiring on the Delta loop, so we're at a 10 gauge now instead of a 14, so it's getting a little better.
Well, good for you. Glad to hear it. Yeah, you're doing good here in the receive. I got you about 5-7. First contact to Tennessee. Well, it's very encouraging. I mean, the bands and contacts have been all over the country so far. Not so much west. We did have Colorado. which usually comes in pretty good. But boy, I tell you, anybody to the east of me, Alabama, you and there in Tennessee, and A&M out in Maryland, boy, it's really encouraging. The band is doing really, really well.
Yeah, that's true. We've been doing really good here. I've done a lot of POTA hunting lately, and I've taken out pretty much the whole northwest corner of the country doing that. So it's getting better on my end. Like I said, we got this antenna up higher, did a little bit thicker wire on it, and it's a solid gauge, not stranded, so it's really picking up a lot better sound now.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you've been busy if you've been out chasing like that. And, oh, by the way, you just hit 10 over between us. Really, really good. And if the log is correct, this makes number 4 in the log, so now you just become a regular. So later on tonight, we'll be having a party in your name, throwing confetti and so forth, so we'll be thinking about you.
Sounds awesome to me, man. Every time I hear you on here, I try to jump in there and say hello, but unfortunately, like I said, I've been working all day, so I'm going to jump off of here, go grab a shower, and get ready for tomorrow. I got to do it all over again. You know how it is.
Yeah, I sure do. Well, I tell you, we haven't missed anything with me. We've basically been away from the microphone for the last 5 months with projects, internet issues, and what have you. So we'd like to think that's in the rearview mirror. We're on a new internet service, which so far has not given us any issues. Very stable, good bandwidth, and I think it's going to make our live stream a whole lot better, a lot sharper. It's not going to buffer, at least I hope not. So yeah, you know how it goes. You're welcome to come back anytime. You know that we get a chance to get back with you. We always enjoy having a kind of a meet-up with you as well. Unfortunately, we don't do that work thing. I'll let you handle it. You can take care of it, no doubt. Get you showered, get you something to eat, but thanks for taking the time to give me a call. I know you got other things to do, and you did give us a call. We appreciate it very much. We appreciate your support. Look for you again, no doubt. Have a great evening here on Tuesday, and we're going to have that event coming up for Veterans Day next week. If you have some time and you hear us out there, we'd love to get you in the log. Joshua, thanks again, man. I do appreciate it. Good to hear you. I look forward to our next one. Kilo 04 Hotel Uniform Victor, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thanks again.
Copy that. You take care. And just for the record, one last thing, you did just bury this needle on this thing.
That was my intention. You know, that's what I said. That's 95 watts, you know. So, hey, we've just got good conditions between us.
Yeah, it's definitely sounding good. I've got plus 20, plus 40, and plus 60, and you buried it.
All right, my friend. Hey, take care. Be safe and be well. Hope you and yours are that way and continue to be so. You take care. 7-3s. QRZ, any other stations, please?
November 9, November Radio Whiskey.
The November Radio Whiskey again?
Yep, my call again is November 9, November Radio Whiskey. Over.
November 9, November Radio Whiskey. Nice signal. Robert or Bob is what the logger shows there. Go ahead.
Yep, I go by Bob. I'm located in northern Indiana. Over.
Oh, good. First one in Indiana tonight. Oh, terrific. 470 miles straight line up by Syracuse. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct. Yep.
Boy, it's amazing to type it in right, the information the logger gives me. I wish I could take credit for it, Bob, but I got to leave it up to the logger.
Yep, no problem. I just taken a few contacts here. I've got a DX10 that I've had since Dayton, but just got it on the air tonight. Over.
Oh, really? First time using it tonight. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, it's just been sitting here.
And what are your thoughts so far about it?
So far, I mean, it's interesting. I miss all the buttons, right? So I don't like where the band button is. You got to reach around the VFO knob. There's a few things I don't like about it so far, but maybe I'll go computerized and use some radio control software to get around some of those. But so far, I mean, it's interesting. I'm running about 1,000 watts out of a Mercury 3 amplifier, center fed antenna that's up about probably 40 feet over.
Well, yeah, it is a little, if you've got large fingers, I'm the same. I have large fingers. It's a little tough to get around the VFO knob. Other than that, that's kind of the only minus for me. I've had this 10 for about a year and a half. I liked it so much I bought a second one, so I have two of them. I use one for portable, and I've got this one here in the shack, and I think they're terrific radios. I think Yaesu, they did a home run on this one.
Yep. Well, I mean, I don't dislike it. I just have to get used to it. Like I said, I've only been running it for about an hour. I think you maybe be the second or third contact. I did have to switch microphones, so I'm running a what am I running now? It's a Dynacaster microphone on this one right now, and I'm trying to do a little bit of monitoring. Not sure what the audio is like right now. Over.
Well, I was just going to ask you that. I guess the thing I would look at is first thing is if it doesn't take a lot of settings to really change it out. So be really gentle on the mic gain, on the processing, and so forth. One big difference you will hear is either with the EQ on or EQ off. Do you know which one you have it set on now?
I've got the EQ off, actually. Just about everything is stock right now. I think I bumped the processor up to like 10 or 15 over.
Well, what you could try if you'd like is to try it with the EQ on. If you've been listening, I'm not sure how long or what, but I'm actually live on my YouTube channel, so it's being recorded. So you could come back and listen to what the changes you make, and you can decide what direction you wanted to go.
Yeah, I did hear you say that. So yeah, like I said, I'm just getting used to this thing. So I just wanted to reach out and see if we can make contact. And I know you got some other stations calling there, but I'll check you out on YouTube. Over.
Yeah, no problem at all. I'm glad you did. And welcome to the club. Welcome to the family of the FTDX10s. I think as time goes on, you really start to see the benefits of this radio. It does a lot of things really well. I will tell you also, having the digital noise reduction, the DNR down right above your volume knob, if you've got any kind of noise on the band, you click on that and it's gone. And it's adjustable. If you hold the button down, it'll actually come up. And I think it's between 0 and 15 you can set the setting to. And default is number 3. That's where it sets most of the time. So just those kind of things. But yeah, as time goes on, you start using a little bit more, you'll figure out some of those features, and you'll really, really start to enjoy the radio. I have no doubt.
Yep. Thank you, Randy. I'm happy to have some encouragement there. Like I said, I'm missing the monitor button that I can click on and off usually on the old radio. Like I said, I'm used to being able to just hit some buttons and switch bands, instantly without having to hit a button and then go click on another one. So I did start using the mouse on it already because that made that a little bit easier. But anyway, I'll let you go. K0RWB N9NRW73.
Yeah, no problem, Bob. Hey, just so you know, keep this in the back of your mind. It's not the easiest radio to set up transmit audio because of the 3 different EQs. You're more than welcome to, I'm good in QRZ, my email. I'd be happy to send you my settings, and you could use that as a baseline and work from there if you choose. You're not required to, of course, but if I can help you with your FTDX10, I'd be happy to. Look me up on my email in QRZ. Send me an email. I'd be happy to send you the settings, and then you're more than welcome to come back anytime and make some adjustments, what have you, and see how it sounds yourself there, Roger.
Yep, very good. I appreciate that. Thank you, Randy.
Hey, enjoy your evening. Thanks so much, Bob, for taking the time to give us a call. Congratulations again on the FTDX10. I think as time goes on, you're really going to really enjoy it. Anyway, enjoy your Tuesday evening. Feel free to come back anytime. We'll just kind of pick it up where we left off. November 9, November Radio Whiskey, Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo, 7-3s.
Yep, 7-3, Randy.
Okay, QRZ, any other stations, please?
W0ZXR.
The Whiskey Zero station, I'm sorry?
This is Whiskey Zero Zulu X-Ray Romeo.
Whiskey Zero Zulu X-Ray Radio. Eric, good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Well, I'll tell you, anytime I can get a contact into Colorado, it makes my day, it makes my night there. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger on that. It's been a very nice night here so far. Tomorrow's going to be nice. It's supposed to get cool, maybe a little bit of snow, and then we'll have to get some roller coaster weather we got here.
Well, I think this time of year, I think we're all going to be that way. I did have a contact earlier up in Windsor, Colorado, and he said he was at 72 today. I know the mountains have gotten some snow. And I believe you're over in Thornton, what the logger is showing me. So you probably got some decent weather. No snow yet there, I'm sure, Roger.
Yeah, Roger on that. We got up to around 70 here, low 70s here today. So can't complain. Nice weather.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I think we hit 80 today. We're looking for 82 tomorrow. Of course, the winds will start showing up as well, so that's going to be interesting. But it's hard for us to get to those temps this time of year without the wind out of the south. But I think there's a front coming through closer to the weekend. It may change a few things, and yeah, we'll start seeing some up and down weather. But and the weather's not so nice outside, so it makes it good for radio inside there, Roger.
Oh yeah, radio's good for bad weather, that's for sure. So what is your QTH again?
Yeah, my apologies. The QTH, we're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City. We're over here on the Missouri side, the little town of Bate City, Missouri. Most people kind of shake their head and say, what do you say? So we generally just kind of give out the KC area and an idea mileage-wise. Roger?
Oh, sounds good. Yeah, you're just about due east of me then. Yeah, you're coming in real good tonight there. You're probably 5'9" plus. You're real good sound and everything.
Yeah, Roger. I got your page pulled up. Are you running the loop right now?
Yeah, I'm currently running on the second loop down, the one that's called the mini loop that's 2 meters in diameter.
Wow, how cool is that? That's really cool. And it's not very high off the ground, no doubt, but boy, it's sure making a nice trip into Kansas City.
Yeah, Roger on that. What's my signal strength like right now?
I've got a friend of mine that is up in the Fort Collins area, and he's got several different loops. One he takes with him portable, and the other one he's got there at the house, and he always comes in here real well. I don't think the loops get a lot of credit, but they do a great job.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun, man. It's worked well. What's my signal strength looking like there tonight?
I've got you solid 5 and 9. The audio's got a great punch to it, so no issues whatsoever.
Oh, well, appreciate that. Yeah, you're doing just about the same here. I'm running both barefoot at 100 watts. That's it. I don't have an amplifier.
Well, I need all the help I can get, so I'm doing about 400 watts. Nothing to write home about, but maybe just enough to put us over the edge, I guess.
Oh, it's working very well for you. I got some strange noise here right on this frequency. It's something like a carrier or something that's being transmitted, but you're riding right over the top of it.
Yeah, I can hear something coming up once in a while, and I think there's a station at 7210. When I was here an hour ago, there was nothing around. It was pretty clear. But yeah, it's just how it is. I try not to interfere with other stations. Hopefully it doesn't work for us either. But you just kind of learn to work with it and hope for the best.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I've noticed the band has been pretty busy here the last several nights. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, I've been very encouraged. We haven't been on the air much in the last 5 months. Just a little bit here and there in the last couple of days. Very encouraging to see what the bands are like. Seems like they're open. 10 is open, which is really nice to see. It's always been a fun band. I know there's a little bit of activity on 12 and 15. I like to think it continued to be that way. The numbers don't look the greatest, the sunspot numbers and so forth, but gosh, it doesn't really seem to be affecting us too much. There seems to be activity just about in every band.
Yeah, very true. Especially when there's contests going on, I like to hang out on 12 and 17 meters. They can be really nice bands when they open up nicely.
Yeah, I guess over the weekend that contest was just gangbusters. I think there wasn't an open spot in any of the bands. It's kind of nice to see, actually. We're not much of a contester just because we have a hard time typing calls down, but it's encouraging to see the participation was as big as it was.
Yeah, it was good participation. I'm not much into contesting myself, but I did listen in on it for a while, and there was a lot of stations in there. I think I heard a few foreign ones in there, too, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, now if it'll continue to be that way, I think that would be awesome. But, it's especially here on 40 meters, it's just like a light switch. You turn it off, and, boy, it shuts everything down. I can remember not too long ago, well, actually the first of the year, 20 meters up until, 11 o'clock, midnight Central Time. That was also kind of cool, for 20 meters as Australia, New Zealand would start to come in around that time. But, I tell people all the time, this is a free phone call. You just don't know who was on the other end.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, that's for sure. Yeah, I've been having fun with this. I upgraded to general class almost 10 years ago, and haven't really looked back. It's been good.
Yeah, it's amazing, especially we were actually on the air a lot more the last couple of years, with the COVID thing, whatever. So were a lot of others. That was very encouraging, so to speak. A lot of new operators come to the hobby because we were shut down. A lot of operators away from the hobby who came back just because of COVID. And I think a lot of those folks are still with us now. It's really nice to see. I think the community, by and large, is really quite healthy. There's a lot of operators out there, a lot of varied background and interest, ham radio being one of them. And we've got some very, very sharp, very technically smart folks in this hobby as well. And it's really nice to see there's something out here for all of us.
Yeah, very true. Yep, pretty much people from all walks of life come into this hobby. It's been good. I was first licensed in late 1992 with a no-code tech license, and then I went through periods of inactivity, and then I was in a better position to upgrade, and that's what I did.
Yeah, a lot of us are kind of that way. I got my license some time ago, and 10 meters was open at that point, and that was great for a technician. But there's a whole new world when you get your general and your extra class, and a lot of people take advantage of that. The upgrades is kind of what they're all kind of want us to do anyway. But there's a lot of things you can do just in general class. I'm a general. I have no desire to go any farther. This has worked out well for me, and I think others are going to feel that same way. But again, it's each their own. However somebody wants to handle it, how they want to pursue the hobby for themselves. I think that's a real cool thing. There's something for everybody. Digital modes or CW or phone or, and there's a price point as well for everybody. You don't have to spend a lot of money to be real successful, especially around 40 meters. 100 watts on a wire does a lot of transmitting and receiving, no doubt. But I don't know if I looked in the log here real quick, Eric, and I didn't see a contact, so I want to thank you for the first one here on 40 meters. We're trying to make this kind of more of a continual thing, a couple nights a week. We are live on our YouTube channel. I've got a link on my QRZ page. If you're interested in listening to our QSO, you click on that link. It'll take you to my channel. You just look at the video with today's date on it, and you can kind of listen around. Feel free to come back. You get 4 contacts in my log. You become a regular here on the channel. We throw a big party in your name, throw confetti and so forth. Have fun with that. And then we've got a special event coming up next week, which is a Veterans Day salute to service. We've got a special event call for that. If you're out and about that day and you happen to hear us, we'd love to get you in the log. And we do have a commemorative QSL card I'm putting up on the channel right now for those folks who'd like to get a card. But we'd love to have you come back anytime you hear us. Like I said, I love to talk to the Front Range. We got family in Fort Collins. I lived in Aurora for many years, 11 years in the spring, so we've got the Front Range covered. We probably covered some of the same ground. But I want to thank you for taking the time and giving us a call. I hope you'll come back. We'd kind of like to get into Colorado as much as we can. We'll say 7-3 for now. I think there's a couple others out there while we've got a few minutes, and we'll let you go. Whiskey Zero Zulu Radio, Whiskey Zero Zulu X-ray Radio. My apologies. Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. Eric, thanks again. Have a great night.
All right. Yeah, good to talk to you again. I will check out all that info you just mentioned there. So, all right then. K0RWB, that's W0ZXR73s, and have a good rest of your evening.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. You take care. QRZ, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Any other stations, please?
November. CQ Ham Radio. This is KA0 Echo Mike Delta, Denver.
Kilo Alpha Zero Echo Mike Delta, is that correct?
Hey, that's Roger. Sorry about the intro.
Well, not a problem, Stephen. It's not like we haven't talked before, but nice to hear you again. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. You're talking to me like I know you. That's great.
Well, I'm showing 5 contacts. I think that's close enough, don't you think?
Well, that's great. I wouldn't leave the frequency for that. I'd go for 10-20, you know.
Well, I tell you what, you're welcome to come back anytime you hear us, sir. You know that.
Tell you the truth, I'm just I'm just giving you a lot of BS because I just got on the air. I just tuned in on this frequency. I turned my amp on, and everything is still set. And it's popping out about, it shouldn't put this much out, according to the gauge there on the MFJ meter. But I'm driving it with up to 50 or more amps. So, yeah, I'm probably putting out about 800.
Well, you're doing fine here in my receive. You're a solid 5 and 9. And we just finished the QSO there in Thornton, so just right down the street, and there you are. So kind of back-to-back the metro area. Nice to hear you guys coming in from Colorado. Very encouraging. The band is open and done so well there, Roger.
Hey, Rogers, our ears perk up when we hear the word Colorado. I mean, occasionally you catch it in other QSOs and other people you're listening to. And, since I've been in Colorado since 1959, and I moved here when I was 4 years old with my parents. I was born in 55, moved here to Colorado in 59, and I'll probably die here in Colorado. Over.
Well, I tell you, there's worse places, Steve, no doubt. Not too many in the U.S., but around the country. Yeah, I certainly enjoyed my time in Colorado. Like I said, we lived in Aurora and then down the Springs for several years. Did enjoy my time very much, especially this time of year with the big transitions between fall and winter, starting to get some snow at the elevations versus down in town, of course. But I do like it this time of year, and you got some great weather. Not a big fan of the traffic, of course, in the Denver metro area, but it's kind of one of the offsets for being there. But just kind of how it works. But yeah, it's nice to hear you again. I thought the call kind of sounded familiar, and then when I typed it in, I saw we had some prior contacts. So we haven't had an opportunity for the last 4 or 5 months to get out here, but we wanted to make it a point here in November to try to change all that. So out here this evening, trying to make a few contacts. We got our live stream up on YouTube as well, so we're streaming this live and kind of knocking the rust off, but having fun anyway there, Roger.
Hey, Rogers, I'm really glad to hook up with you. I'm starting to enjoy this. I don't want to let you go.
Well, I appreciate that. I usually don't have near as much to say as you guys do who stop and say hi. So that's just kind of how it works. But I will tell you this. We won't be here every night, but we'll be here a couple of nights a week. That's what we're looking at in the beginning. So if you do hear, Steve, you're always welcome to give us a call. We just kind of pick things up with you where we left off. No issues. We do have a special event next week for Veterans Day, Salute to Service. We've got a special event call for that. We'd love to get you in the log. Hopefully we've got conditions that we can get a contact between us. We'll be on different bands, different times of the day. We'll be here on 40 meters in the early evening for us Central Time to try to make those contacts. So hopefully we'll get a chance to connect with you again. Anyway, I'll say 7-3s. We got about 8 minutes left. Then we're going to be shutting it down. I know there's a few other stations. We'll see if we can grab those real quick. But Steve, always nice to hear you, especially in the Denver metro area. Nice to see that we're getting into Colorado. Enjoy the rest of your evening, Steve. Here on Tuesday, rest of the week as well, and plenty of stations out there. I know you'll make some more contacts as well. You take care, my friend, and nice to hear you. Kilo Alpha Zero Echo Mike Delta, Denver, Colorado, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thanks again.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get your call. The noise just shot up at that time. I got a K, and that's all I got. But if you need to go, that's fine. I understand. And thanks for taking my call and letting me play mind games with you, sort of, But yeah, thank you. Thank you much. If I can get your call again, that'd be fine. But This is KA0EMD in Denver saying what a great guy you are.
Yeah, Steve, the call is Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. K0 Red, White, and Blue.
I may have heard you some other time. That sounds familiar. Well, great. What is your name? Over.
Yeah, the name here is Randy, Romeo Alpha November Delta Yankee. The call again, Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo.
Gosh, yeah, I think I worked you before, Randy. You said that you had some contacts with me, and I recall your name now, and the call is familiar. So, hey, you have a great night. I'll let you wind down there at the station, the portable station, whatever, and you have a great night, and we'll look for you again, and looks like you live in Colorado from the Zero call, but
Kilo Zero Romeo Whiskey Bravo. You copy Whiskey Quebec Zero X-ray.
Yeah, let him clear real quick. I'll get back to you 1 second.
Roger.
Okay, Steve. Hey, thanks again, my friend. Hope we'll have some better conditions next time. But we do appreciate you giving us a call. We've got you in the log, and we'll say 7-3 as you take care. QRZ station, try that call again, please.
Yeah, Roger. That Whiskey Quebec Zero X-ray is the call. Man, I tell you, I'm sorry I didn't hear the other station out there. Top of good evening to you, Randy. Terrence over here in Clarksville, Indiana. Roger.
Whiskey Quebec 2 X-ray, is that what you said?
No, negative. Whiskey Quebec Zero X-ray, over.
Whiskey Quebec 0. Did you change your call on me and didn't tell me, or what?
I did. Yeah, Randy, I got another call, man. I used to be KJ4 Zulu Mike Victor, but I upgraded the ticket, so I said, well, I might as well upgrade the license, the call sign too. So I came up with the Whiskey Quebec Zero X-ray, Roger.
Well, I thought something was suspicious because I knew the voice, but that wasn't the call.
Yeah, Roger, that did. Anyway, how you been, over?
Well, I would say how much time do you have, but we can't do that on the air. It's an interesting 5 months between projects, no internet, and no time, but we've got that. I'd like to think we've got it all behind us now. It's November 1st. The projects are done. We have new, more improved, more stable internet, which makes for a better live stream, and internet all in general. And life is good. We're going to be here a couple of nights a week. That's the intention to start with. We've got some special events come up. Got one coming up next week for Veterans Day. So I say life is good there, Roger.
Oh, absolutely. I concur. I concur. Life is absolutely wonderful. I think last time we talked, man, I was still working. No longer working anymore. Retired. Happily retired. Retired the 30th of August. I guess you could say 1 September. And since I had time on my hands, I upgraded my license from general to extra. And, man, I tell you what, Randy, I'm just having a great time. I'm glad things are good with you as well. Station is always sounding good coming into our Clarksville, Indiana. And you're doing your thing, and I'm glad that you resolved the internet problem, man, because the internet, it could be a make or break you there, Roger.
Oh, it was awful. Yeah, it was just awful before. The downside of being in the country, you're kind of suspect with internet. Some stuff we had was no faster than dial-up, and you spend X amount of dollars. And this other wireless stuff we had was kind of hit and miss. It was really sketchy, even trying to do the live streams. It would just buffer and lock up on us. Very frustrating. Not what we wanted for our listeners. And then we got this other service here a month or so ago, and through Verizon, and it's so far solid as a rock. Terrific bandwidth. By and large, we can run everything, and it doesn't doesn't seem to slow it down one bit. I can actually see my screen right now on the YouTube channel, and it hasn't buffered once. It's good and crisp, what we want. So I'd like to think that those worries are behind us. Are you on the same equipment still? You still got the 101?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm running barefooted too tonight, but I'm on the 101 MP and just running barefoot, man, and just having a good old time with it there, Roger.
Yeah, you're 5'9". Yeah, I figured you were probably somewhere around there. The radio sounded about the same. I had a feeling you're probably on the same equipment. We are as well. Nothing's changed here. The antenna, everything has been the same. Well, we didn't have a reason to change it. We never used it. So there's no reason to change if it's working. We did get rid of an amplifier, I think might have been around May timeframe. I don't know if we talked at that point or not, but we had an ACOM 1000 that we put up for sale, and a gentleman out of Alabama bought it, so we're back on the old standby amplifier, which is doing our 400 to 500 on a continual basis, no problems. But other than that, things are doing their thing. Yeah, I like I said, the voice was there, the call wasn't. I remember Clarksville, but hey, you know, all is good, man. We're making those contacts, and I still use your same settings here in the radio.
Oh, good deal, and they sound good. They sound good, no doubt. I mean, I'm glad I was able to help you out there, Randy, with this. I mean, you was pretty much on the right track anyway. Hey, question though, why did you get rid of the ACOM? You wasn't happy with it over?
No, we wanted to start doing some remote ops, and you know, tube amp, you're not going to be able to. To move around to different bands. So we wanted to get that out of the shack and use some of that money to start on a different amplifier. And we kind of searched around a little bit. We kind of settled on the Palstar, the LA1K. They're based out of Ohio. Talked to them a couple of times. We put an order in. We were initially, I think, 5 to 7 weeks out, and got an email, and that changed to 8 to 9 months. So we decided to kind of back away from that, and they said, well, we'll still keep you in the queue, and if you don't want it, we've got somebody who'll buy it. And I said, no, I don't want to do it to somebody. So we took our name off the list, and I can't say I've missed it. This one is doing its thing. This is the old 10-Tech Hercules 2, the old solid state amplifier, which also works off of 12 volts. It's on a good sized power supply right now. We'll just keep running it, not pushing it, and let it do its thing.
And I don't blame you. You know, that's a long time, to be waiting for an amplifier. 8 months, that's a little bit excessive, Wow. That's incredible, I understand that, the chips and all that stuff are not available. I mean, but that just, we should stop outsourcing or buying stuff from China. We need to make this stuff here in America. It'll probably work a lot better anyway. I'm still working the Ameritron AL80B. I could get a good KW out of that thing, man. I never pushed it that hard, though. Never really have to, So, and today I'm just running just with the radio. Man, I tell you, I had such a great time last weekend. Just making all kind of contacts all over the world. Of course, I had the amplifier on it, that time. But man, the contest was really, really cool. Man, I was trying to catch some stations that I didn't, or normally wouldn't get, like stations in the continent of Africa. So that was pretty cool. I got Japan again, and I saw China out there, but I wasn't able to get them. I got them one time, but wasn't able to get them twice. So, but I guess that's that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, no doubt. Hey, Randy, listen, I'm not going to tie it up, man. Beautiful signal coming this way. Station always sounding good, and I will definitely be tuning in on your live streaming on YouTube, no doubt. And hey, listen, man, happy Thanksgiving to you. It's right around the corner. All of the holiday stuff is here, man. It's here. Yeah, I guess you got to get your wallet out, man, and start buying everybody some Christmas gifts. Kilo Zero Romeo Whiskey Bravo. This is Whiskey Quebec Zero X-Ray.
Yeah, no problem, Terry. Nice to hear you again. Been a while. And can't sneak up on me now. I got the call in the log. So, hey, listen, I told you, if you're out and about next Friday during Veterans Day, between one of your free meals, we're going to have the special event. Special call will be November 0 Victor. It's a salute to service. That we've got a kind of a cool car. We did this a year ago, had such a tremendous response. We decided to do again this year as well. We've already got it squared away with ARRL. We're going to be contacting QRZ tomorrow, see if we can get access to the page, if we can put info up on the QRZ page. If you're out and about and you happen to hear us, give us a call. We want to get you in the log. So anyway, 7-3, it's nice to hear again as well. Congrats on the retirement. We just went over a 5-year mark and not looking back whatsoever. But I will tell you this, you're going to be busier now than when you're working, no doubt. Take care, 7-3s, you and the missus. And come back anytime, you know that. The Barefoot's doing a good job for tonight. Whiskey Quebec 0 X-Ray, Clarksville, Indiana, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thanks, buddy. Take care.
All right, Randy. Take care, big brother. Definitely be out there on the Veterans Day thing. That's for sure. Take care of yourself. All the best. Whiskey Quebec 0 X-Ray is clear. 7-3.
All right, my friend. Take care. It's Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. We're past our time. Thank you to the stations that were out, to people on the live stream as well, on the chat. We'll be back out here another day or two this week. Thanks again to those folks. Don't forget, we got our Salute to Service Veterans Day next Friday. We'll be running our special event. Love to hear you again. This is Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy